In my brief time being a PE teacher, I've noticed issues with my white male students. Now, to give you some background, I taught AP Gov. I still do anti-racist consulting for schools. So, like, I have a lens for this shit. And in PE tends to be a male-centered, white-centered type of job. So I tend to have issues with white boys, right? Surprise, surprise, right? And so this particular group, or it was a group, these two brothers, and their mom, and one brother in particular is fourth grader. He put hands on another student, right? He assaulted another fucking student. He didn't really want to take accountability for that shit. He didn't want to have a discussion about that shit. So I'm like, look, go sit over there on the bench, right? Like, away from everybody else, because you're not fucking being safe and you don't want to fucking, again, take any accountability. So mom comes and I tell her, look, your son put hands on another student. And she's like, you know, oh, all bent out of shape and shit. And I'm like, you know, fucking hold your son accountable. And she's like, well, you know, he wouldn't have done that unless he was provoked. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You know how many times I'm provoked as an educator? You know how many times I'm provoked as a fucking anti-race consultant? You know how many times I'm provoked as a black woman living in a goddamn country that hates black women? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Your son has to learn how to control himself, right? And then she's like, you isolated him away from everybody else and he couldn't even do his homework. He was sitting on a table. There were other fucking kids around him playing. He's not isolated. Even if he is, who fucking cares? And I didn't let him do his homework because he comes out and does his homework anyway. And this needs to feel like a fucking punishment, not a time for you to be productive, right? It needs to be a time for you to fucking think about your actions and control your goddamn self. And so she's like making herself the victim, doing like typical white woman shit, right? Not holding her son accountable, not being accountable as a mother. Oh, he wouldn't do that unless he's provoked, and you isolated him away from everybody. I'm like, what would you have me do? What would you have me do? He's not taking any accountability. I tried to have a conversation with him when we're at the table. He moved away from me. We can't repair this shit because he's not one of the fucking repairs. So fuck him. Right? Fuck your kid. He's going to be over there on the goddamn table because I have to keep other kids safe, right? What would you have me do, lady? Like, it may not have been the perfect damn solution, but so what? Like, so then she goes to talk to her son, and then she comes back and she starts fucking crying. And she talks about, oh, you know, he just shuts down, you know, when he gets in trouble, and it just feels like he thinks that I don't love him anymore, and that he's the worst person in the world, and he just has all this internalized fucking, you know, negative self-talk, blah, blah, blah. And she's crying. I'm like, you're not the victim. Your son is not the victim. He could have prevented all of this by fucking controlling himself, taking accountability, fucking apologizing. He could have repaired this. He chose not to, right? He chose fucking not to. I went to talk to him about this shit. He moved away from me. So fuck him. He needs to understand the consequences of his goddamn actions, right? There's not gonna be any spoiled ass, catered to, entitled ass white boys or white children under my watch. Fuck that. You will be held accountable, the same standards as everybody else. I'm not just gonna give you a fucking free pass because you're white, right? White supremacy does not run in my fucking jurisdiction, right? But she was just classic white woman. I'm like, I'm pretty sure if anybody should be crying in this situation, it should be me, right? Dealing with your son's bullshit, dealing with your bullshit. I should be the one in fucking tears, right? You're provoking me. Do I get to put hands on you? Pretty sure I fucking don't. And what made me mad, so many things made me mad, but I'm like, my black son could never get away with this shit. I could never be like, well, he was provoked, even though my black son is provoked. He's bullied on a regular basis because these motherfuckers are white supremacists, right? And embrace anti-blackness. So my son got student of the fucking year at his middle school, and he gets bullied on a regular fucking basis, right? He is provoked. He's absolutely provoked. Does he get to put hands on people? And if he did get to put hands on people, do I get to break into fucking tears? Because again, if anybody should be in tears, right, it should be black moms, black sons, us, not your privileged fucking white ass, right? So typical shit that I've dealt with as a PE teacher. It's always these entitled fucking white children that want to try me. They think that the model for a PE teacher is a white man, and when I come in and check them, they ain't ready for it.